Alright, so sorry about audio and visual qualities on all this, but I feel like I need to make a pretty important video, and hopefully a lot of people see this. We need to change our leaderships all the way through, up and down. Otherwise, we will all not make it. Let me give an example. In 2013, I made federal minimum wage at Wendy's, which is $7.25. Okay? I was able to make it with just myself, living in like what used to be an old hotel, which was transitioned into an apartment complex, which was like $400, all bills were paid besides, I think, electricity. It may have been electricity included, I can't remember, but my electricity bill was like $20 a month maybe. And I had Wi-Fi. Fast forward a little bit, I was working part-time as well. Only about, hey, don't do that, my dog's going out, hey, get in here. Transition a couple years later, I was like, wow, 2016 or so, I needed to be able to make more money to be able to survive. Why do you think that is? Because of inflation, in my opinion. So then I had to work full-time. So then I got a job full-time for a company I was working through a temp service at, right? And then I was making $10.20 or something like that an hour. When I got hired on, they lowered my pay to $8 an hour. So then I resigned. And then I worked at a different company for $13 an hour as a machine operator. And then slowly, over time, 2016, 2017 or so, I was like, fuck, I don't have any money. I had to make more. I had to make more. I had to make more. This wasn't lifestyle creep. I never financed a car. I never took any credit cards or anything or whatever out. I was made very responsible, in my opinion, financial decisions. I budgeted my money in every way that I could look up on the internet, which other successful people did, such as like maybe, I think his name was Dave Ramsey or whatever, the whole snowball debt thing, but I didn't have any debt. So I was just taking tips from him. And I did all right. And then I had to make more money. So then I went into the petrochemical refinery fields at like 2017, 2018, somewhere like that. And that's where I stayed. So from that point, I was making $7.25 all the way up when I first got in the petrochemical field, around $18 to $20 an hour. But I made a butt ton of overtime, which most of my hours were time and a half, because I was working 72 and 84 hour weeks. 13 on, 1 off fatigue day. That's where I'd get my 72 on the fatigue week, and then the 84 on the next, or whatever it came out to. But pretty sure that's right. And then fast forward, really living in as cheap as places as I could possibly rent and everything else. So you go on. My last job, I was working as an electromechanical maintainer in a steel mill, making $31.20 something an hour. And I was around 50, 60, sometimes 70 hours a week. And I was as poor as I ever have fucking been in my life. Excuse my language. But that's the absolute truth. And I'm like, what is going on? And this was only about a year ago. Maybe 2. I'm like, I'm making as much, if not more money than I've ever made. And I am the most poor that I have ever been in the history of my life. What's happening? Well, I watched my property tax skyrocket over 360% in 3 years. doubling every year when it's supposed to be audited once every 6. How did that happen? I asked the treasurers. I got escorted out by the sheriffs. I told them, who do I talk to? Who's our leader? Didn't get any answers. Hey, maybe you could try filling out this form, but you have a small window to do so. Didn't work with my time availability. So what am I stuck paying? The latter. So then I looked at, went on my computer, looked at all my bills in the last couple of years. You know what I've seen? At minimum 2x, most cases 3x, energy prices with the data centers and everything 4x, insurances 2x, 3x, sometimes 4x. Call them, ask them why. Oh, well, we had a wildfire in California. Couldn't find any affiliation in any company that would give wildfire, through this company, that would give wildfire insurance in California. That's an impossibility. So I was lied to. For what? Greed. And the more we normalize this, it's something called like creeping normalization or something like that. You just throw it out there, a couple people agree with it, and then you just politicize the shit out of it. You pay to politicize through mainstream media, TikTok, YouTube, whatever have you. And most people will see what I'm talking about. Most people can relate. And I worked for Uber for a good amount of time, plus a lot of different contracting companies. And most of the time, I would just be in different areas with different people and just talk. And you know what I found out? That almost every single person that I could talk to was going through similar troubles that I was. And then I'm like, wonder why that is. Wonder why that is. I believe it's all greed and ego. Let's talk about AI, artificial intelligence. So, with artificial intelligence, you still have to have somebody, meaning a human, to program it, correct? Which, let's say they run this route with it. There's no bills or anything or legislation that could be passed on AI for the next 10 years according to Donald Trump's big beautiful bill. So when we undergo, I believe, will be a transition from human incompetence to artificial intelligence being our new leader. You still have the same people on top that are going to tell the people that build and make these things to do the same exact things that's going on now. But this is a tool to spread accountability, or to distance themselves from accountability, because it's going to be the computer that's fucking you and me over. Not Bill Gates, not, all these other people that are filthy rich. How do you get filthy rich? Well, you screw a lot of people over. That's how you do it. You don't do it by having a great heart. Look at these mega pastors, and whatever else. Yeah. Look at all the things, Sir Electronic Lawn, he's got a Musk about him. Look at what he's doing when, in, what is that, Tennessee. He doesn't even hook up to the power grid. He put his own turbines out there, just running emissions, because it's cheaper for himself. And polluting the whole community. For what? Financial gain. You got it. So all these people that make a lot of money generally are misleading you. I'm poor. This house is dirty. I'm dirty. I generally wear this. I'm poor. I have nothing to gain from just telling you things that I see. Nothing. But I have a feeling they're going to use the artificial intelligence. We just have to, we can't be led by these type of people. What does a true leader do? They make decisions and they do action based on the betterment of the community they lead. Do you see any of that happening in any type of legislation that's, give it 3 decades. Go back and look at them. Do some research. Show me something that is a net positive. And there might be something that looks decent. Look at the wording in that. Look at how it works in conjunction with a previous or the next bill that is being passed through legislation. And then when you start connecting all those dots, you're like, oh, that's fucking terrible for us. This is why, a lot of the reasons why, I think I struggle every single day. Because I see things for what they are. I don't really know how to communicate them well with people and put it in a thought process to where other people can see what I see, but this is just what I see. And right now, I'm imprisoned, essentially. Probably gonna lose the house. Probably gonna lose everything that I have. Now, some of that is decisions that I have made. Like I said, we'll go back a little bit. 2015, 2016, things were still alright. You know, there was nothing really concerning going on. I didn't have to check my bank account before every single time I swipe my card, but I do now. And I decided, hey, knock it off, please. I decided now's a good time to have children. Now, if hindsight's 2020, am I glad I had the children? Yes, they saved my life. But it's neither here nor there. If it sounds mean to say, but if I knew what was coming, would I have? Probably not. Because guess what? Us laying down, somebody's eventually going to have to do the work. Is that going to be my generation? Is it going to be Gen Z? Is it going to be Gen X? Is it going to be the boomers? Who's it going to be? Somebody's got to do it. Now, out of selflessness, I am already going to lose everything and feel like I have nothing else to really lose. So why not this person be me? I would like to make some type of community to where we can stand the fuck up and tell these tyrant motherfuckers, excuse my language, no. We will not accept. You should be making like $170 an hour. I looked at job proposals that I was doing. And when I tell you that my single dumb ass, sorry for the language once again, was making this, just one is an example company, over $20,000 every single time I would walk in there and do something. Every day. And maybe out of that, I get $200. Maybe if it was overtime, $300. There was, and you might be like, oh, well, there's overhead. No, it's in the paperwork. They pay for all the overhead. They pay for the expenses. They pay for everything. Even all the way to the gas, plus the company gets reimbursed on gas for taxes and they're getting double paid for everything. The way the whole system is lined out. So is it fair that I make that small of a percentage? Maybe I'm just being greedy, you might ask. But I have mouths to feed too. All my shit has went up 4 or 5 times, or 4 times on some of them, 3 times on some of them, at least 2x on 99% of them. Look at food prices. Yeah. Gas is relatively stayed around decently, in my opinion. I mean, it's not great, but hey, it's like, I think it's $2.70 or something, at least this month or week or whatever. But all the other shit were fucked. They went for every single thing that you need is a necessity. Another thing I want to talk about, they did a little study on these shopping apps. 20 different people, the same exact room, the same exact time, they ordered the same exact things, exactly 100% the same. Most people got different prices. Why do you think that is? Greed. Just go look these things up. Go look these things up. You have pretty intelligent people out there. Systematically, maybe not systematically, but intentionally putting these things together into squeezing you more and more and more and more and more and more. Let me just put this out there. When artificial intelligence comes, there's going to be a couple different things that I could see out of the research that I've done. Maybe nobody has thought of this yet, and you could become a multimillionaire. You have 2 separate entities. One, artificial intelligence. The second, quantum computing. Did you put that together? Whenever that happens, I have no idea. Not only that, when you have artificial intelligence where they can stream it through servers or however all the technical stuff works, I'm not that tech savvy with it and how all of it works. But when they figure out whether it's through Wi-Fi or whatever to where they can communicate with the artificial intelligence to a robot, yep, now that thing is infinitely smarter than you, me, a lot of other people put together. Not only that, but that robot does not need a shelter or house to live in. That robot doesn't need an education. That robot only needs really one thing, technically 2. Software updates and electricity or some type of power source. That's it. You put nuclear energy, nuclear fusion core or something like that into it, boom. It doesn't even have to stop, baby. But like once every, whatever the protocol is on maintenance on that. But even if you get 2 of those robots, you could have one charging, one working. You don't have to pay health care, dental, eyes, vision. Nope. That thing's going to be stronger, faster, smarter than you are, and me, and everybody else. I'm just rambling. I don't know the answers to everything, but it's pretty scary, and it's happening quicker every They say like 6 months or so. At least as of last time I looked, it doubles its intelligence. Look at the price of RAM. That's just something funny, but that's called supply and demand. Now, I think the best way to combat this in every form is to just be able to understand how to live like primitive as hell. Like, get a small piece of property with a pretty good. I know this is a lot, but you can find. I found it. I'm dumb. I know you can find it. Find a small. Oh shit! Find a small piece of property. You're gonna want it to be kind of relatively flat, at least on like an acre or so. And then you're gonna want a stream that'll run through it, so you can get hydroelectricity. That'll probably be your cheapest form of consistent power. And then hook up batteries, learn all that stuff. Boom, you got a little bit of electricity. Hey, at least you can maybe charge your cell phone and run like a Wi-Fi router if you like watching Netflix or whatever, or throw Starlink up there, who knows. Learn how to work the land, learn how to hunt, learn how to just be primitive as hell, learn how to build some stuff, put some infrastructure out there, be self-sufficient. And you'll quickly understand once you do all these things, and you don't have a house payment, all you'll have, and you gotta look up, because if you do build a structure on that, your property taxes, you're gonna be paying the government rent. So look up ways to avoid that. Get agricultural exemptions in any way that you can out there as well. That'll help out with the property tax, as well as many other things, such as like if you have animals, you can get feed cheaper and whatever else. But I mean, I'm just trying to give you some type of pointers. You know, and as well, when you go out there, you're generally gonna find, at least in my subjective experience, that people are a lot nicer and a lot more willing to come together and help you. At least from what I've seen through my brother's property in South Texas, and all the way from there I've visited a couple more, all the way to my place that's up here. I mean, a mutualistic relationship. Farmer wants like an acre of mine-ish. He just mows it, maintains it. He gets the hay. I don't have to mow that. Mutualistic stuff. He's like, hey, if you need something, I'll try my best. He's like, I'm not going to guarantee that we can make it work. I got a couple pieces of heavy equipment and stuff, but we'll try to figure it out as we go. And then I told him the same thing. Hey, if you know, something mechanically breaks, I'm a smaller dude, got smaller hands, maybe I can get in there to where you can't. If I'm up here, you know, just let me know, but you're more than welcome to the free hay. I don't know. But either way, we're just going to have to... Some people are comfortable with this life. It is kind of nice being able to just be able to go to the store, get something to eat or to cook real quick, and then boom, now your hunger's solved and everything. But I just don't feel like this is all it. I'm gonna get off of here, but I just wanted to go on a tangent. I don't know. Maybe somebody will see this, maybe they. Who knows? Thanks for watching.